Unfiltered, real and raw, no time to fake, you gotta give it all. From battles in the ring to chases on the street, Mike and Trevor making life complete.
What's up, guys? I am Trevor O'Connor. Welcome back to another episode of The Final Bell. With me, of course, is my co-host, Mike Gonzalez. Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been hanging out.
That's it?
I don't think I've left the house.
Since you got back?
Since we recorded the last episode, 99% sure I have not left the house.
You're in that mode.
I don't, I'm not in. I have no interest whatsoever in being out.
That doesn't interest you anymore?
No, you guys are out though, because you have to go to the gym, you have to go here, you have to go there. Like you have places, you have to get up in the morning and leave.
Yeah, there's times where I'm like, I just want to be home. Don't even bother me. You know? People are like, what are you going to do at home? I'm like, sit there.
Nothing, maybe. You know what I'm not going to do? Have noise happening, and not just like verbal noise, like noise.
Yeah, sometimes I tell everybody at the house, JJ and my daughter, and I'm like, hey, you're not going nowhere, right? We're sitting home. Yeah, okay, now I can rest.
I'm down, right?
Just sit down.
We're good?
Yeah.
I'm staying?
Put your show on or something.
Yeah, yeah. Kristen is a busybody.
Has to stay busy.
Yeah, like if she's in the house for like 48 hours, she starts getting a little weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Has to stay moving.
Yeah, she starts to get a little and wants to go. She'll find a way to run errands. She'll just like go to Target or Michael's
yeah.
She's like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like,
no.
Of all the things I could do today, that's not one of them.
Let me look at my list. That's not on there.
Not nowhere on there. But I'm probably 3 days in. 3 days into not having left.
That's a long time.
Shorts and Crocs.
That's it. And it could be cold. Hey.
What happens out there
stays
out there.
It's still summer in the house.
That's on them. Whatever happens outside, that's on them. That's not on me. With that being said, I also miss out on what happens in the world often.
Yeah, but sometimes you get there and you're like, okay, I'm going to do something. Then you're like, something reminds you that you don't want to go out. You're like, you're right. I should probably just stay home.
Yeah. Usually it's people.
People?
Yeah.
I'd probably have to agree. I'm a big people watcher, though. I love to people watch.
See, my problem is I get overstimulated very easily. And especially even more over the last couple of years, because Kristen and I have been living in the RV, filming the show. So we're very secluded. And, that group was very secluded. Like we kind of all stayed to ourselves. So even because we would come home once a month for 5 or 7 days. And when we come home, just having everyone in the house, I would start to like twitch out. Like I would get so overstimulated, I would just go upstairs and take a nap.
Oh, wow.
Like mid-event in my house.
That's crazy because like you used to be on the go.
Yeah, that's all I used to do.
But
the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but even I used to do a radio show. I used to be out at shows all the time. I used to do stuff for, at MMA shows. I was always out. Like I have emceed concerts, 5,000, 6,000 people in a crowd and just, pushing the energy out there, like trying to churn it up, which is fine if they handed me a microphone. In the same situation where I'm just in the crowd, I'm losing my mind. Like my skin is crawling.
Oh.
Yeah. I have like social anxiety disorder like you would not believe. Unless I'm there for
a reason.
A purpose. Yeah. 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 Like I don't go just do crowds. I don't do concerts very well. And this sounds shitty, but if I go to an event, I usually get like a VIP seating situation, or I buy, the upgrade because then it gives me a little more room or a little more comfort.
Yeah.
Not because I think I'm better than anybody else there, not because I believe that I'm, do you know who not at all. It's because the only way that I can relax and enjoy something is if I know that I have like a little bit of room. I can't do shoulder to shoulder.
I get that. I find myself not doing the same exact thing, but I look for those things. Like, do I really want to be around a lot of people? Just because it's like, I got to be in the mood.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to come off as like,
you don't want to, you don't want to be the asshole.
no, I want to have if I'm going to go spend a couple hours, I want to have a good time with everybody.
Right.
Versus just, okay, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most times though, after a show, a game, whatever is over, I'm just like, let's go.
It's time to go.
Immediately.
Yeah. Not stick around for the chit chat. So at MMA events, if you're one of the later fighters on the card, the fights end and then everybody wants to kind of mill around and chat. If you're earlier on the card, you can kind of fight, say your hellos. People are still like entranced in what's going, and you can beat it. But if you're then you're stuck.
You're stuck for however long.
Stuck.
And it sucks because you're like, I want to go home now.
And you're waiting to get paid, but then they're also trying to break down the venue and deal with all the other people they got to pay because you're at the end of the card, and it's the worst. Yeah, but I don't have to worry about that.
No, you stay home. Stay home, stream.
Yeah.
Do you watch much TV anymore?
I don't.
No.
I don't, but I'm going to.
Starting?
Yeah. Like, I'm excited to watch TV. Obviously, I don't really do like live TV where you got to sit through all the commercials and all that.
You're a let's record and I'll fast forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or catch it on a streaming service that doesn't have. The only thing I really ever watch, honestly, is the first 48.
That's a good show.
The first 48 critical moments.
I don't think I've seen that one.
The first 48, or after the first 48. Oh, you're missing all of these?
No. I've seen the after the first 40. I have seen
where
that
they
one.
tell like the story of like the next year.
Yeah,
I watched that.
I haven't watched the critical events though.
I'm having a hard time though because they're really slow in releasing, and it's kind of like those shows have kind of fallen off, so they're not like prime time. They're not putting one out all the time.
Yeah, I not that I hope crime goes up, but sometimes I wish they're in different cities because sometimes they're in those same cities.
Yeah.
Which is not good, but sometimes I'm like, what happens in, here sometimes,
Cops has been here.
Yeah.
They were in Adams County.
Yeah, they were supposed to be, right?
Yeah, they were. I think I've seen it. On Patrol Live, do you ever watch that?
I have. I haven't really got into that one though.
I don't mind.
That's the one they sit at the desk, right? And they're like, "Hey, we're going here." I'm like,
Yeah. They have like eight
Different-
live.
yeah.
They're just cutting whoever's got action.
yeah, I have watched that one. Mm-hmm. I do watch Forensic Files.
I haven't watched it. It's good.
Yeah, in a different way. It's good. I like that.
Do you watch any like series stuff?
If has to do with like a documentary series, like a docuseries, then I'll watch it. As far as like a show,
Shot in the Dark we were talking about
Yeah.
before we started. My good friend Zach is in a Netflix series called Shot in the Dark. Most of the fans already know. They love Zach. Zach's like a heartthrob to the show. But we were talking about something, and I brought that up, and you're like, "Oh, I watched that."
Yeah.
It's so crazy that it bled over. But you're a documentary guy. Anyway.
A huge doc. I'm pretty open to anything. There are some where I watch them. I'm just like, nah, I'm not watching them. I'm not watching this one. And for different reasons. Like, there's some that I'm just like, this is a little too much for me.
Kay Miller watches every documentary ever. Like when we lived in the RV, if I was streaming or playing GTA, she would be watching on her iPad, and she watched so many documentaries. Like she's watched probably 10 times, 100 times more TV than I have in the last couple of years because I was
busy
playing in video game land, and she would like just
Kept going, huh?
everything. Yeah, I have a hard time. The only thing I really watch is really anymore is like Netflix type shows, like The Lincoln Lawyer. I love that. They just released a new season. I have a weird thing. I will start a series, like I'll wait for 1 or 2 seasons to happen before I'll start watching a show, so that I have like some backlog, so I can, if I want to, I can binge up.
Yeah.
But then the problem is once I catch up and I'm waiting for them to film more, I lose interest. And then when they put out the new stuff, I'm like, eh.
I already forgot.
And it just killed the whole series.
Vibe, yeah,
Yeah. And like Yellowstone, season 5.
Everybody loves that show.
Yeah. I watched the first 3 seasons. I don't think I've seen 4 or any of 5. And it's just because I binged 3 seasons straight, and then they were waiting on 4, and now it doesn't, I don't have the want to.
I mean, I probably should try to watch that one because everybody I talk to watches that or has watched it.
It's
You
good.
know,
It's good.
it's pretty popular. So, like, I'm watching Yellowstone. I'm like, what? Instantly, I'm thinking documentary
On the park.
On the park. I'm like, I want to watch it too.
No, it's good. It's good.
I talked to some dude at I don't even remember his name, but he was at one of the PFL events when I went, and he was filming us because he was following the guy I was with, and he put the camera down because the guy had something to do, and then I started talking to him. He was actually the one that filmed the day the music died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so I looked it up. I was like, I gotta watch that one. So that's one documentary that I'm gonna watch. I just
That's
haven't.
Buddy Holly, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. He's
Musicians.
The one that,
No, the musician one,
yeah,
right?
just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
musician.
yeah.
You know, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that one. So that's one that I'm on. It's on my list.
I probably should. I need to watch more documentaries and less garbage when I turn it on. But usually I only turn the TV on to go to sleep. And I have to have that noise happening for me. And those crime shows are the best because the narrators are very monotone.
Yeah.
And it's just fun and you can just really.
We don't watch First 48 at home, but we watch that Fight Week because that's what they play at the hotels.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's like, hey, and we have yet to see the same one, like a replay.
Oh.
So it's like, yeah, we'll just watch this all week.
Yeah. I've seen every one. I've seen every episode of First 48.
Dang.
Every one.
I used to watch Intervention too. I think it was called.
I watched Intervention for a while. It started to jump the shark. It got too sensational.
Yeah.
There's our tangent on 12 minutes on TV. What the hell are we doing? So episode 1 is up. And Kristen edited it, and it's great. It's up to members right now. It's going to go out to the public in the next day or so. What's today? Tuesday. We'll probably put it out Wednesday for our Wednesday hit.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit ahead. In that episode, we talked about how we were going to film. We were going to do it one live camera for members, and then the recorded edit it will go up to public. And we are going to do that. Except Kristen wanted to. Move some things around, like she made me get new arms because she hated the ones that went up.
Yeah.
And this is lower, and it's a better. She thinks this is going to be a better shot. I just want to give her a chance to edit 1 or 2 and find exactly what she's happy with the look.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it up. Like I've already kind of semi-tested it as far as
How you want
how it's going to happen.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's going to be what we'll do is we'll have one camera that's like right above the wide shot. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be like a webcam. It's like an Elgato face cam. It's a quality cam if it's got good lighting. But it's going to be one shot in the audio. And we're not going to be able to see it until the end. So it's going to work that way. But people don't want to listen to us just talk about TV shows and everything else that's going on. We decided to separately grab some ideas to talk about. So, my big thing is I don't want to. I got to put some foam up. I can hear a splash. I don't want to know what topics you bring, and I don't want you to know what topics I bring because I'm not like I don't want it to be overly researched. I want it, I want a natural conversation to happen from it. That's why when I said you come with some topics tonight, that's because it opens up a conversation.
For sure.
I may not have quality information on the subjects that you bring. But it's going to spark a conversation that maybe we revisit because it'll pique my interest, and then I will go do, more research,
On
and then
what-
then we
yeah.
can But if it's just, I think it's easier that way. A couple things that we have coming up this week that I think are topical. I know we're not trying to stick to fight stuff, but there's some big fight stuff that's happening because this weekend is Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yes. I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Everybody asked me, "Are you gonna?" I'm not saying I want to watch it.
Right.
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, the thing is, it's in the fight world. It's one of those things where it's almost like, are you a pariah that's going to watch that garbage happen? Or from a completely entertainment standpoint, do you just want to watch to see the train wreck? And that's me.
I'm on that side.
I want to watch to see the train wreck. A portion of that is because I watched the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. fight.
I watched highlights of that one, but I didn't watch it live.
And neither one of them looked crispy.
No, and I heard that there was something that it was only going to be like body shots. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they danced a lot.
like-
Moved. I'm going to do one thing real quick. Hold your mic. Lift it up a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to do that. It's trying to run on you is all. When you talk, it's
going somewhere.
well, the distance was changing.
Oh, okay.
And I could hear it.
You're too
yeah.
good for that.
No, no.
You can.
I could hear. I could just like if I was talking and I started to do this, and you see how it like.
Oh,
changes.
I see.
Or if
Yeah,
I start
yeah,
to talk over here, start changing the tone. That's what it was doing. Anyway, I mean, people want to talk shit about Jake Paul, and he's not of this, he's not of that. I mean, he's an athlete.
He's an athlete. The one thing I do respect it like that he's doing is he's trying to show people can get paid.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to put himself out there to be whatever judged or he's crazy or
Right.
What you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he is an athlete. He has gotten better.
Yeah.
From if you look at his first fight to now, like, is he like one of the elite boxers? No, but he has gotten better.
He has dedicated himself to the craft.
Yes.
Which a lot of people, in my opinion, should at least give him that respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he doesn't train at all, gets a fight, trains for just long enough to promote the fight, and then like he's training full time.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not like he didn't have a successful thing going before where he could have, he's got plenty of money, he's got plenty of clout, he's got plenty of fame.
He doesn't need to fight for what he's created. You know what I mean? Like if so it's like this is for him. It's probably just a bonus. It's like one of those guys that wants to be that fighter that can be looked at.
Well, what it is to me, he's the example of what happens if you make it and hit it big, and money's no longer a concern, and you get to just go do the things that you want. Like you're like, if I was rich, I would train full time. I would become a professional baseball player. I would do this. He hit it big early enough in life that he can now do those things. Mm-hmm. And he can do it at the highest level with the highest level of training, nutritionist, strength and conditioning coaches. He can do all of that, which gives him an advantage over, your Joe Schmo that can't. But at the same time, it's still work. Mm-hmm. Like it's not just wake up, get a massage, look pretty,
and let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just being able to move like a boxer and strike like a boxer takes a lot of dedication, a lot of time. A lot of people don't understand just because you can throw a punch doesn't mean that you can box.
No.
I am a prime example. Terrible boxer. I can hit hard, but at the same time, the risk is very high. Very high. Like there's a lot of risk involved in me striking.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I'm just not. I did not spend the time early on in life, or even when I started fighting, I spent 99% of my time, well, not that much, maybe 80% of my time grappling. Why? Because a natural grappler. I wrestled since I was a little kid all the way through. I learned just enough striking to
Get it to the ground.
get where I needed to be.
Yeah.
I would not do well in even an amateur boxing event against another real
Boxer.
Wouldn't happen. Which kind of jumps the shark on this over to all the social media boxers. Like the TikTok boxers and the YouTubers that become boxers.
And they fight each other and
What do you live in the fight world? Where does that, when you see that happen, is it cringy?
it's cringy. It is. But I'm kind of like I'm on the fence. I do think it looks cringy, and I don't watch a lot of that. Like if it's on, I like fighting so much that I will watch, and I'm like, man, I just spent my hour
On that?
Yeah, which is fine, whatever. But I look at it as like these guys are putting themselves out there to show these other athletes that there is money to be made if you do it the right way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like the Misfits boxing stuff, they pay those guys pretty decent. But the social media guys, because most of those social media guys could make that much money just putting out
content.
Just whatever they normally do.
Yes. So I kind of like, I respect them in a way to where it's like, man, they're like, if you guys just, I'm not saying you have to go out of the box, just be who you are, and maybe there's some money. Somebody will catch your attention. You'll catch somebody's attention.
Sure.
As far as taking them serious, it's like, no.
Have there been any that crossed over outside of like the Pauls that you are like, oh, that guy? None that you can think of?
None that I can think of.
I think the Pauls are really the only ones. And Logan really didn't, I mean, he made a very small run at boxing, but
he's WWE now, though.
Yeah, but he's phenomenal. That dude's an athlete.
I do watch his videos on like some of like his training and doing the whatever he does. I'm like, oh, this dude's an athlete.
Yeah.
And I would say he's probably a better athlete than Logan or than Jake.
Logan is an athlete, hands down, phenomenal. Phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Like way ahead of anything I would even assume that could happen.
He's an athlete. So I would like to see an MMA fight like that to see what that looks like. I would watch that one.
Logan?
No,
MMA?
just any YouTube guy that wants or TikToker or whatever.
Right.
I would like to see, an MMA fight. Just to see.
If I was 20 years younger.
20. But that's why I think bare knuckle boxing is good, because it is. I mean, I don't think it's good. I like to go, like when we went to watch it, I actually had a good time. I think it was better to watch live than on TV.
For sure. Now, here's my take. I want bare knuckle boxing to be its own thing.
Yes.
Its own entity where people come up and are groomed up into the ranks in bare knuckle. I really, really, really dislike, and it's just an opinion, it's just my opinion. I really dislike the fact that it is the one more paycheck stop before the CTE kicks in.
I think that's going to be it for a while, though, until a better way comes about that they can get these guys.
Because people aren't going to be amateur bare knuckle. I mean,
you can't. I don't know how you amateurs. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the career for that is going to be worse than MMA, CTE in combat sports, because there's nothing saving it.
No, and it's going to be interesting with it. I know that they said they're doing studies or they want to do a study on the brain for the guys that do MMA or fighting, and that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
The difference.
I mean, we see like bare knuckle has come to Denver twice.
Yeah.
We were at the same show, not this one, but the one before.
The very first one that came, right? That's when Luke Rockhold fought.
When Connor showed up.
Yeah.
We were both at that fight. And they started to stack the card around then with like retired or crossover MMA fighters. and they started paying them pretty decent money to come and do. But a lot of these guys have, they fought their MMA career out, and a lot of them, the button got a little soft, and then they can't step away. They can't. There's no one in their life that can say, enough.
But I just feel like MMA, like fighting in general, there's such a high.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
I don't think it's okay to do other things to fix yourself or, like whatever. But I do think that in a way, these guys that fight, to them, that's what that is. You know what I mean? And I feel like, yeah, it is the paycheck, because if you look at the guys that are successful,
Yeah.
they don't want to go get a job.
No, the money's good. I mean, the money's good
Yeah.
when the money's good. And I will be one of the very first to admit that rush is beyond anything I've been able to experience any other way in my life. After fighting, I became a bounty hunter because I'm still chasing that adrenaline.
Yeah.
And that was one of the closest things, because you're attempting to go put handcuffs on somebody that doesn't want to go to jail, and you're not a cop.
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty intense
Situation.
occupation.
Yeah.
That was probably as close as I've had. And then obviously as I closed out the actual bounty hunting part of my career and stepped over to YouTube and ran that show, that was kind of like the next thing where there wasn't the possibility of a legal issue happening.
Because you were filming for a show.
Right. Like they weren't going to jail. The cops weren't going to, I can tell you, I left bounty hunting as an industry because the political system and the legal system have things really, really, really screwed up, to the point where they're very pro-criminal,
Well, especially during that time with COVID when they weren't taking everybody.
No, they couldn't.
You know what I mean?
We were arresting people on violent offenses, taking them to the jail, and the jail saying, "I'll sign a form that you brought them, but we're not accepting anybody right now unless they're brought in by a uniform officer."
That's crazy. It's just.
Well, and at the same time, we actually ended up having to fight a case that eventually just kind of went away.
Yeah.
Where we arrested a guy on a violent domestic violence warrant at his address of record with confirmation from another resident in the house. And then they came back later and charged us with like trespassing and, some other stuff on that arrest. I'm like,
that makes no sense. It still doesn't make sense.
that was the end of me really.
Was that your moment where you're like, this is it?
I was like, I'm not putting my family's financial future, my freedom on the line for this anymore. And, that's Pat was with me on that. And, we all got it together. And we were like, nope, we're done. And that's when we went. I mean, obviously Pat had filmed, the semi-reality show before that. Then we did a bunch of real stuff here, and then we closed it out. And anything we filmed after that was 100%, like on the up, like
make sure everybody's on track here.
Yeah. But bounty hunting was probably the next closest thing. And then filming the show was semi-close to that because
you were still fighting the guys.
They still want to fight.
There was a situation.
All that violence is real. Those punches are real. The blood on my face is real. The
getting hit with
tasers,
the door.
Yeah.
Getting hit with the door was real.
All of that was real. It's that cool blend of like faux reality. That was great. I'm older now and it hurts.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the next chase is.
That's tough because it's even fighting. Like my last fight was in 2012. Mm-hmm. That's forever. It's like sometimes I'm like, damn, what would be cool to do something.
Yeah.
Like that again. But I'm like, no, fighting hurts. Like I don't want to fight. I don't want to get hit. Like I just know. That's why I don't even like fighting in general, because I like, people are like, oh, you like to be aggressive? No, actually, no, that hurts. And I know it hurts. So I'm going to pick
It either hurts your face or your hands.
Something's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't feel good. You know, so I understand sometimes when people are like, man, I was talking to a friend of mine like a while back, and he was a pretty successful fighter, and I'm like, what is it? And he's the one that said, it's like, you know, you just want to get the high. You know,
I still want to chase the high.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm way too old for any of it, and I still want to chase the high. I think about filming the Bounty Hunting show, and I get really excited.
Yeah.
And then I realize that unless someone like pulls me aside and goes, "Hey, man,
You're not.
No one wants to see your old ass running around."
Yeah. Do you think it'd be, if you can explain the feeling, it'd be easier to be like, okay, I could figure something else out? Like, because it's hard. Like, people ask, like,
Yes.
can I,
If I could take the feeling out of my consciousness and place it in somebody else's consciousness for just a moment and let them feel that feeling, then they would understand why I want to do the things that I do.
Yeah.
But you cannot with words explain it, and it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Because unless they do it,
Yeah.
you know, just like fighting, unless you get the cage door closed behind you,
That's
even as a coach, still not getting punched in the face.
different. Like, you know, I chase that adrenaline. And I still do it with the guys that I coach, but that's a different adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I'm exhausted afterwards.
That's chess.
I'm like, gosh.
That's like playing a video game where the controller doesn't do what you tell it to do.
You're like, hey, this needs batteries or stuff. But yeah, like we go to fights and people are like, hey, afterwards, let's go out. I'm like, you guys go out.
Yeah.
I'm
going to get to the hotel and I'm going to melt.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that about after parties, because I always threw a big after party
Yeah.
after my fights. And about 15 minutes into it, I was like, do you think we could
hit the road?
Yeah. Get out of here. I just thought of, okay. I thought of a show that I watched
Okay.
and the premise of how, if it could happen, it would be cool. There's there's a Netflix show called Altered Carbon.
Okay. I haven't watched that one.
Okay. It's kind of futuristic, sci-fi, but basically like your soul or your conscious is saved in a disc. They could take the disc out and your body is called a skin. They can put your consciousness into a different skin. So you can upgrade and have this like.
But would you want somebody else's conscious put into your skin?
But but if you could basically live forever at the, like, let's say you took your peak physical and mental performance self, paused, took that out, and you could put it in a new body whenever your body was no longer up to the task.
Yeah.
Like if I could have me at 30 or 25, which is kind of how my brain still feels to me. Like I still think I'm young enough to go do all the shit
that you want to do.
In my mind, I could go to the gym right now and spar.
Oh, okay.
In my mind.
Yeah.
100%. In my mind, I could go grapple. Like I could go to a randori tomorrow and grapple 7 rounds and
Be all right.
be all right.
Yeah.
Now I know physically no.
Your body will tell you no.
But if I could take that conscious out and put it into a body that could, where you have all of your knowledge, all of your skill, and you put it into a body that could go, would you live forever?
If I didn't age, I think so.
No, you get a new skin.
Oh, then yeah, I would live forever.
You pull it out and you put it in.
Who wouldn't want to?
I don't know. Do you live forever? What if only you could, though? Like in your group,
I'm the only one that could live forever?
you're the only one.
I don't know
The
then.
rest of us then age and die.
I don't know then. That would be
Then it comes weird.
that'd be a little sad for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, because then you get surrounded by new people. It's like, no, like, I like my circle. Where's it at?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah. What if like it was like a lottery and you won, but everyone else around you had to stay normal?
I don't know.
Selfish me says, I would love to live forever because I want to see the shit that's coming out. I love technology. I love when new cool shit comes out.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest fear of missing out is that I will age out of seeing cool shit happen. But
I guess that's what they did in the 1900s.
yeah, they're just done.
Yeah.
They didn't see anything cool
No.
except the late 1900s, like the 1990s.
They seen cool things, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if I would want to live forever like that. It would be cool,
Yeah.
but
If everyone could come along.
if everybody that I love and care about can
Right.
come along.
But what if what if it became a money thing? Only the rich.
Oh shit. Well,
It's like everything else.
I mean,
If you could live forever, you could get rich.
which
If you could live forever, you could figure out a way to get rich.
maybe
You got all the time.
maybe that's why all these guys that are rich don't age. I mean, they get older. They
I
look
don't know.
older.
Steve Jobs aged all the way to death.
I mean, yeah, they still say he's alive, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Do you think they're freezing his head too?
I mean, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something.
Yeah.
If we thinking about it, they've probably done it already.
Selfishly, I would do it. But then I know that I could not live without Kristen. She is me.
Yeah.
So, me staying the same and then, dealing with her fading off into oblivion would probably be the worst thing ever to happen in the world. And then you still carry those memories no matter if you're in a new skin.
Yeah, and then if when your kids go away, when it's like
Yeah.
I would think about
Maybe
it.
I can't do it.
I would think about it.
Maybe I can't do
but
it.
I couldn't. I don't think I could because I'm just like, this is not good. Like this is not fun anymore. Once they're gone. I mean, I would.
I'm not going to do it.
You changed your mind already?
Unless we can all go.
Yeah,
can't do it.
like if you say only your family, right?
Yeah.
Your Kristen, your kids, grandkids. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe then.
Yeah, then it's like, yeah, I'll be fine. Like for me, like
Nobody else can have kids after that because we don't want to see that happen.
That's it.
It's just us.
Yeah.
It's our crew and we go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then okay, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the rest still, your friends will go, your other family, like that'll but at least you'll have your core group of people. Like that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
Selfishly, I did not allow you to bring up a single topic.
I mean, that was a good topic though.
And we're almost 40 minutes.
But okay. So here's what I've been thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's what I've been
I want to know a lot about it, but I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
And that's the rockets that they're putting up in the air. Because I don't believe that sometimes. I'm like, what am I seeing?
Like SpaceX?
Yeah.
Do you know what's on my list?
Is that SpaceX?
Couple things. SpaceX is putting up rockets faster than anyone else in the world, basically. He's beating the U.S. by themselves.
That's why.
And his technology's up. I mean, are we willing to hedge everything on one man's technology, which is a private company? So,
and for the longest time,
I kind of feel like a private company is better than a governmental company, only because we don't know where the juice and the squeeze are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, SpaceX is putting all of these satellites in orbit, and they're creating, like, I use Starlink internet for the last 2 years.
Oh, so
I have-
you're already on it.
I have I have one.
Oh.
I can go anywhere and just boop, pop it out, and I'm
And
fast.
is it faster than
It's fast.
home?
It's about as fast as home.
Is it more costly or it's about the same?
It was about 100. It used to be more expensive. I used to pay like $250 a month, And then not too long ago, they knocked it down to like 125 a month, and it still was the same quality. It cooks.
And I only brought this up because when we were talking, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. One of the things that for me is I used to work at a company that dealt with wire and cable, and we sold a lot of cable to. It was called Swiss Technologies, and then we sold it to Lockheed Martin. I had at the time no idea what those were, and then they sent me to do an inventory at the Swiss Technologies, and I found out that they were at the time, and this was 99, 2000. At the time, they were building robots for hospitals so they can deliver medicine to the rooms by a robot.
Yeah. Dude, robots are real.
You know what I mean? And
robots are fucking real now.
And then I find out what Lockheed Martin does, and they're like, "Oh, we're building a spaceship."
Have you seen robots that are actual robots now?
Let me.
We'll bring this up next time.
All right.
Dude, they have robots that are like dogs.
I haven't seen.
And
those,
they have robots that are like humans that now can get pushed and not like it rebounds, it catches itself, keeps moving forward. We're not going to need frontline soldiers.
Anytime.
No.
Yeah.
You have all the perfect ones right there.
So to me, when I see like Elon and they're putting the rockets over, that's like, and because I've been talking to JJ about, we were talking about the astronauts that are stuck up there.
They're back down now.
Okay, so it's like you're sending more up, and it's going to take them longer to come back down. Like, what is going on?
Can we just go
there?
pick them up?
Yeah, it's like, why are we
going up there to check on them?
Like, what?
Can't we just go up there and get them?
You know what I mean?
And I don't understand the science behind it. And I look at things from like, if you can get up there, you can bring somebody else back. But
so then I see like Elon's making a rocket land. Elon's
he's landed the same one like 9 times.
And I thought that was fake at first.
No, I think he's really that's real.
You know what I mean?
He's landing them, like sending them out and bringing them back and landing them on a pad and reusing the same rocket, which is crazy.
So if this guy's releasing this technology, what does the government have for technology? But
I think there's some people like him that are so far advanced in that field that the government's probably trying to keep up with him because he becomes more powerful.
Yeah.
He becomes more powerful at, in that realm. The thing that I like with the Starlink, okay, we have the Starlink internet and it worked anywhere. As long as I had like clear view to the sky, which means I don't need cable to my house, which means we don't need, that built into neighborhoods. But the 5G networks and all the antennas that are on the ground, Starlink or SpaceX is now working with T-Mobile, and we're going to have the opportunity to have phones that are satellite based, so you don't have a coverage problem. Sometimes you go with your phones to a town that doesn't have coverage for that, and you're like,
or you go to the mountains,
you just don't have a phone.
Yeah.
So T-Mobile is working with Starlink, and their phone coverage is going to be done by satellite, just like their internet.
Interesting.
But how many satellites, dude?
That's what I'm saying.
And are they? I mean, they're supposed to burn up before they get to the ground.
Supposed to.
Are they?
I don't know.
I don't want to get hit in the head.
That's what I don't understand about. Like I said, I don't know enough about it to be like, this is what it is.
Okay, we're gonna research.
Okay, but it's like we got satellites out there just running around. Nobody's crashing into anybody.
Yeah, there's so many satellites orbiting. Pull up. Watch when you get home. Pull up like satellites orbiting in the atmosphere, and I mean, there's so much, and there's a ton of them that are dead that are no longer functioning, but they're still just up there.
And I rented a Tesla for a little bit last year, and because I was like, I need to get out of the house, and I was doing Uber, and I was like,
between fight camps.
Oh yeah, like I think because I didn't have to do Uber,
right?
Uber
Entertaining,
was a great time. If I had to do it for my bills to be paid,
yeah.
Stupid. I'll go to get a 9 to 5.
Right.
I'm not dealing with people. Well, I ended up getting a new Tesla. Man, it was good. And I'm just like, wait. So there's a satellite up here telling this car where it's at.
Yeah.
Why do I not have coverage on my phone right now?
You will.
You know what I mean? And I started hearing about the Starlink, and I'm like, what is this? And then
Now, Your phone,
You know,
now you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
outages. It's happening. It's happening.
you know. So it's interesting that you have the Starlink, and that's
We'll set it up and you can check it out.
I've been so interested in like all the rockets and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, we'll set it up and you can check it out. You can connect to it and see how fast and easy it is. It's simple, dude. It sounds like a commercial. It shouldn't, but it is. I love it. Something else I did that you don't, I think we discussed it a little bit. I set up a phone number.
You set up a
I set up a phone number, 303-578-8680. If we have friends or fans or subscribers who
want to call.
who enjoy listening to us idiots speak about things we know nothing about, they can call and leave voicemails. They can text it. If they like, if they want to hear us talk about something, they can leave a suggestion. We'll actually play their voicemails on the next episode.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so they can tell if they want to hear about this, they want to hear about that. We're going to get a lot of voicemails about why I'm not bounty hunting with Pat.
That's fine.
I love you guys. I love you very much. I'm old and I'm beat up, and trust me, you don't want to see Daddy jiggle down the street.
No,
it's just not. It's not exciting anymore. But we want to bring some cool stuff here. We're going to start bringing in some guests now that I feel comfortable with our setup and I feel like we're pretty clean. We're going to bring some guests in. We've got a third setup right here. We just haven't used it yet. I'm going to reach out to a friend of mine who is a comedian and also a pretty serious jujitsuist. So it's always fun to have that kind of crossover.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll come in. But if you guys want to hear something or want us to talk about something or want to comment on something we talked about and tell us how stupid we are because you know more about it and we just
teach me.
Babble through. 303-578-8680. You can call right now. Leave voicemails. You can text it too.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me that idea. You got all the ideas.
I'm doing stuff. And just wait till the members get it live. We didn't have as many gaffes today, so it's going to be pretty clean. But sometimes things happen.
The live members is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Or the live cam.
The live cam. And then we'll do Q&A after. We'll stick around because some of the members are really fun to hang out with and talk to. Good. So that part of it, we'll cut it and then, we'll stay live with them. Save your topics.
Okay.
Because this is how far we got.
That's fine.
We're like almost 50 minutes in.
It's a good time. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to run dry.
No, and I think those the fights. I'm gonna go home and research this Starlink. I really am.
I'm gonna set it up.
Well, then I don't have to research it.
You can just connect to it. I'll show you how it works. It's fucking awesome. It's fast. It's right outside. It's right in the living room, in a bag right there. It's sitting right there.
Huh.
Yeah. I promise, guys, we're not always going to talk about fighting. There's big fight stuff that goes on. Also, John Jones and Stipe. Is it going to happen? I hope so.
Man,
there's some weird stuff going on.
Yes, and
I've
said this
like
last
micro
week.
hints.
I said this last week. I said, I am not going to be shocked if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I want it to happen because I want to watch it.
Man,
except for Stipe's like my age.
I don't. Yeah, John Jones is going to finish him.
Do you think he sticks around and fights Tom Aspinall?
No.
Or he walks away. He wants that Alex fucking Pereira fight.
And he'll get
that fight.
I feel bad for Tom.
Yeah.
Because
he loses his belt as soon as the bell rings.
That and Jones and Alex
outsells everything.
Outsells everything.
Yeah.
And
Thompson also ran at that point.
Yeah.
They'll give him back his intern belt till
you get the
John
winner
leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. John Jones. There's just no interest in Tom Aspinall.
He's trying though.
He is trying. It's just
he's trying to be exciting. He's trying to be charismatic.
Yeah, and it's just
So is chocolate milk.
And I don't like
it's just not all that exciting.
It looks good.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that one. I'm not. I feel bad for Tom. I think Tom's a good fighter.
Yeah. I agree.
But
I agree. Tom's tough as shit. And it's the right fight. Like John Jones, is it his walkaway fight? Does he cement his legacy by beating Tom Aspinall, who is like the great, next thing that's coming, and then he retires and walks away? Or does John Jones go, you didn't do enough first, kid?
It's gonna. You didn't. That's what he is. Because I feel like John. Well, John is one of the all-time greats for sure, the best.
Well, and especially if they give him that only loss back because they changed the rules.
Yeah, and I think that Demetrius it gets underlooked because
he's little.
Because he's little. You know, I feel like he's one of the best. He's probably the best.
But he couldn't beat up John Jones.
But he couldn't beat up John Jones, right?
If you're going to talk about the greatest of all time, you got to say, could he beat this person?
Like John Jones, I think is at a place where he doesn't have anything to prove.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, now it's just about.
He is the greatest MMA fighter of all time.
Let's just make some money,
and he's making it.
Yeah, so
he's making it.
There's not going to be any. There's not going to be any Tom Aspinall, John Jones.
So we're going to watch the fights. I'm probably going to put money on both.
I can't bet, so.
No, you're not allowed.
Not allowed to bet.
I am.
But I would if I had to pick a bet, John Jones.
Yeah.
First round finish.
I'm taking and the Jake Paul fight. I'm going to bet on that too. But
I can bet on that. I can't bet on UFC.
Right. We'll see.
I bet on football. And
are you going to take Tyson?
Yeah. Even if I lose my money, I don't care.
The universe will not align for that.
Starlink will.
Starlink is going to change it.
Man, don't say that.
It's over.
Don't say that. I've been doing good in baseball basketball and football.
Yeah.
I hit a plus 800 last week.
I've not seen a football or basketball game in over 2 years.
What?
Nope. I watched them this week.
Yeah.
I have cable.
Watch basketball over football.
Yeah. I want to watch the Nuggets because I
want to go to a Nuggets.
I see the Joker, on all the highlight stuff. Let's go to a Nuggets game.
We should go
right.
because
we'll find tickets.
Yeah, I want to go to a Nuggets game. I haven't been to one since I don't know how long, and they weren't that good back then. So.
No, they're good now.
They're good now.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to do it for episode 2, the final bell. We are almost out. What do you got? You started to say something.
I already lost it.
Oh shit! Old age.
Yeah, if I don't say it right away, forget it.
This one will be up right after. Members have episode 1. They're going to get episode 2 probably. I'm guessing tomorrow.
I hope so.
And the public should get episode 1 tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that. We'll give public episode 1 and members episode 2. If K Miller is froggy and gets us edited tonight, which should be pretty easy. This one we didn't even have a bunch of hiccups.
Members call us.
Yep, call us. 303-578-8680. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us what it is. Tell us what you want to hear. Because we'll talk about what you want.
Whatever.
Even if we're too dumb to know. We'll still talk about it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Watching bags and body tags, they swap tails from the ring to the street.